right, to start, I have about 10 ounces of store-bought Pecan Shortbread Cookies, and we're just gonna put them in a bag here and get out some of that pent-up aggression on these cookies. Make sure all the air is out of that bag, and we're making crumbs for our pie crust. And you do want them pretty fine, so after you beat them a little bit, then you can roll them out and make sure all those crumbs get nice and broken down. Now we're going to transfer those crumbs into a bowl. We have some butter, about 6 tablespoons. Got some sugar, just a couple of tablespoons there. And then we're just going to stir to combine. And into our pie dish, the crumbs go. And if you find that you've missed some pieces, it looks like I have some bigger pieces in here, not a problem. That will be just fine. It's a pretty rustic crust. We're just gonna use our fingers to press it in there. If it's easier, get out a glass. Let that help you. And you can also use that to kind of crush up some of the bigger pieces, but if you leave them in there, it'll be just fine too. And put into the oven. All right, for our caramel layer, I'm going to head over to the stove and get that started. I have about 1/3 cup of butter already on the stove melting here. And then to that, I'm going to add some brown sugar. Let that melt completely. And then to that, I have 1 can of sweetened condensed milk. Now it's important that you stir this constantly. There is a whole lot of sugar in here, and if we don't, it will stick and burn. Now it takes probably a good 3 to 4 full minutes for it to come to a full rolling boil. Keep stirring it, it'll be worth it. But once it is there, we're gonna boil it for 1 minute. When the caramel is done, it thickens up into this rich, delicious caramel sauce. And I am just going to go ahead and pour that straight into our pie crust and spread it around. Oh, this looks so good. And that's it for this part. And we're gonna go ahead and put this in the fridge and let it chill. And then we're gonna top it with some whipped cream. All right, the pie is nice and chilled now, and I am dying to dig into this, but first things first, we've got to add the bananas. I like to slice up a couple of bananas and layer some sliced ones just on the top layer of caramel, and then we're actually going to cut some up smaller and stir them into the whipped cream. So you'll get big pieces of banana on the bottom and little bits throughout the whipped cream. It makes it really special. All right, for my whipped cream, I have 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. Make sure the carton says heavy. It just means it has a higher fat content and will whip a lot better for you. I have a little bit of sugar. You don't want a lot, because a lot of the sweetness is gonna come from the caramel and from the bananas. And then I have some vanilla extract. And let's get going. All right, you want to whip it until stiff peaks form, and that is just what we have here. If you look at the beater, it's pretty stiff. It's maybe hard to see from this angle, but it tastes pretty dang good. I'm gonna give this a stir and fold in our bananas. I've chopped up about 3/4 cup and fold those in, and it's gonna be ready to top our pie with. Oh, so good. Let's do it. Right over the top. And this might seem like a lot of whipped cream. That's kind of part of the beauty of this pie. You have that dense layer of caramel, and the banana, and then this nice pillowy cloud-topped pie with the whipped cream. Now, I'm not one to be super traditional when it comes to recipes. Traditionally, banoffee pie is topped with chocolate shavings. Today, I decided I'm gonna use mini chocolate chips because, you know, why not? But when I've made it in the past, I've put candied pecans on top with a little dusting of cinnamon. You can do the chocolate shavings. A little dusting of cocoa powder is beautiful. Or you could just leave it alone and keep it simple. All right, now cutting the first piece of any pie is always the most difficult. So let's see how this goes. You got that layer of caramel in there, and the crunchy shortbread crust, and that cool whipped cream with bananas in it. It ties it all together. Delicious. If you haven't had a chance to make banoffee pie, if you've never tried it, if you've never made it, now is the time. It's perfect for holidays. It's an easy dessert. I hope you guys will try it. See you later.